up and say that he's invincible. So we have to fight cynicism. And you ask good questions about how democratic we are within our own opposition ranks, within our activist ranks. We can only overwhelm a dictatorship if we brew democracy, empowerment, equality in our own groups and go out there filled with a different, first of all, living a different reality and wanting to remove a situation that we don't accept. I'm afraid when I look at the political formations today, you still see a lot of men on the front lines and women struggling to be part of the political parties. Opposition parties must reflect on how different they want to be. You can't be trying to remove something that you look alike. If they are not inclusive, if it is family power, make yours more broad and inclusive. If it is old men, many of them are even on crutches. I'm sorry, I don't mean to ridicule anybody, but you really see some people in his cabinet struggling to stay awake or even to move. Then make yours a team of old and young and make sure that you have a good mixture of age. If there are no, I mean, honestly, the opposition needs to think about living its values and projecting a new idea by living that idea in its ranks. I don't see that. I'm sorry to be critical here. That's the same with civil society organizations. When I have met them, I find they're mostly male led. They're much younger. That's a good thing. You have more young people coming in to lead, but there is a need to bring more youth on the front line, more women there, people with disability, and living, living the values. You asked about taking care of oneself. I don't think I can lecture to people. I myself push myself hard and then I fall sick. I have always been honest and humble. I learned a lot from Museveni when he was still a revolutionary. He was our revolutionary leader in the bush. He would give me books to read. He would give me references, and I was reading a lot and learning a lot about the political economy, about liberation movements, and some of the things I read. I remember reading Che Guevara. Che Guevara was clear about this issue of a revolutionary taking care of themselves. He had a phrase of constant vigilance, constant mobility, and constant mistrust. This one, he was trying to say a guerrilla must stay mobile. That means you have to be fit and not stay in one place because you're moving and hiding. Constant vigilance, being aware, being sharp and knowing what's going on around you, and constant mistrust, not trusting everything you see. Within that, and within that same essay I read, was the fact that you have to preserve yourself to be able to fight tomorrow. You can't afford not take care of your health because the revolution is losing you when you don't take care of your health. You don't only hurt yourself, you hurt the revolution. These are things you learn. And self-care is also a feminist principle. Right now, beautiful, that says solidarity in the face of injustice. Letters to Winnie Byanyima. And it's a beautiful book with letters from so many women in the women's movement, all giving me their words of encouragement in the face of what we are going through. This is so important, the solidarity amongst activists to keep each other going. And I want to thank the women's movement, the leaders who wrote me this book. Today I'm on a high. You talk about body shaming. My God, let me tell you, we are so vulnerable as women standing up for our rights as citizens, for our rights to lead. Oh, yeah, yeah. The things they throw at us. Two things that I work for me. One is to have very little time for rubbish. Too many. Actually, some people tell me, don't answer the bots. I answer one bot in a while just to slap back and move on. I don't spend too much time on them. But ignoring is one thing you have to learn. Have a thick skin, stay focused on your battle, and don't let distractors take you too much of your attention. The second one is humor. Laugh at them, poke fun. After all, you're usually intellectually stronger, you are more knowledgeable, you have a broader view of the world. You can slap back and laugh at them. And that can give you a sense of closure about those horrible things that people say about us. And the body shaming is painful. I think it's important that we show solidarity with each other. Some of these very painful things can hurt, especially young people. So thank you for raising it. And let's be there for each other, because the attacks on us as women are additional to the attacks that all other people get, that men get. These are additional. Juliana, you talked about the unity of the opposition and why this is such an important question you raised. Thank you for giving me credit for standing at NUP headquarters. How could I not? We were in court. The entire leadership of NUP came to stand with us to fight for Kizza Besigye. Then next to me was the new leader, Bobi Wine, and he said, after here, we are going to pray, all of us, all the political parties, pray for political detainees. How could 5, 6, 4, 3, 2 years, and they've not even appeared in court? This is the situation. Honestly, I didn't know there were so many. And now I said, we have to speak together about this. It's not just Besigye, it is so many others. So this was my wake-up call, being there at the prayers. But Juliana, I have to say also, what's wrong with our leaders? Why can't they come together in an electoral alliance to defeat a dictator? Why must they all be big fish in small ponds? Why can't they agree on a power sharing agreement? I've been challenging the group that I am closest to. I'm not their member, because with aunt, with others, and you share power. Someone takes a responsibility for foreign affairs, another one takes a responsibility for internal security. Must you all be presidents? It seems to be a male thing. Let me be controversial. I think that women are better at sharing power, at equalizing, at getting on with the job and not thinking about the power and the prestige. I think that if you fronted more women in each of these parties, you could quickly come to a political alliance, an electoral alliance. This is controversial, but I believe it sincerely. We have too many, young men, young boys are socialized to want to be the boss, the head, the leader of the unit, the leader of the family. We women are raised to care for the family, not to seek the top leadership, but to support and to help others, to empower others. We have these skills. If you use them more in your political parties, political leaders, you're going to find you can easily make alliances, and good alliances that hold. I really encourage the parties to promote the women in their parties and to give them a role in coalition building. Now, I was so touched. You know, younger people also come with different skills. This man you see, Bobi Wine, has been hit in the same way that we women are hit. He's vulnerable because he's young. Too many political elites dismiss him and say, oh, what does he know? Let me tell you, how old was Museveni when he went to the bush? How old was Museveni when he came here as a revolutionary and became a minister? He's even younger than Bobi Wine. What did he even know about government? Being president was like his first job, literally. He had been a minister in UNL, UNLF. That didn't even last 2 years, and he was out again. He had no experience, zero. But this is a guy who's a graduate, who's an artist, but you find a lot of trashing him because he's young. But I see humility in him. I was so touched. Today, I found out that he had done a song and gathered international leaders, and this song is about free Besigye. Can you imagine that? There's a lot of strength in him. And to be a president and to be a minister and to be all of this, you don't have to have such personal experience. You just need to be a good team player because you are surrounded by experts in the ministry, you are in a cabinet with many others. I know this because I work with many people in my own cabinet. They are not all experts. I choose a cabinet because I want to complement, to have different types of skills. I have some people in my cabinet who are there because they are problem solvers. They mediate conflict, but they don't have to be technical. I have others who are technical. So, and I have others because they are young and they bring a fresh perspective. So honestly, we need to stand together and accept that each one brings something different. Let me agree with you, Juliana. The international community, okay, to tell you how much I agree with you, let me tell you. Just this week, I went to meet one of them here, one of these donor ambassadors. The first question I asked her was, why are you ashamed of being seen with us in the opposition? Because she couldn't even meet me in her office. She had to meet me in her residence. What if Museveni knows she has met me? I asked her, what is it that you are telling President Museveni when you don't meet the opposition to know what what challenges they are facing? Oh, I'm going to be meeting with them. All the standard answers they give, they do not want to stand with the people. They have a government to government relationship, and we need to call them out and say, in your democracy, don't your opposition talk with the government? Don't your ambassadors who are there talk with everybody in the country, including opposition? They are a part of the problem. We are responsible for our situation, but they are a complicating factor. They have not helped us. Instead, it's the politics because they come here, they send here some young ambassador who is very happy to be driving a big car with a flag in a beautiful residence and just wants to serve her term and go back home and not rock the boat. Because if she rocks the boat, even her capital might not be happy with her. So let's not rely too much on them, but let's put pressure on them to stand with us because the relationship is supposed to be values driven. We are supposed to be in relationship with these Europeans, Americans, because we share values of democracy, of human rights, of rule of law, of equality. And let's hold them to that. If you don't believe in those, why are you here? Why do we have a relationship? So we need to call them up. I agree. Your last point, personal relationship, my friend. I don't care what anybody wants to call me. I am 66 and I've had a past, but I'm not going to be accounting for my past to people. People I have had relationships with, I respect, and they also respect me. And it is our personal business. It is nobody's business. To say remove it from the public sphere, how? Who invites it in? Do you ever hear me talking about it? It is people who want to bring it up, but I don't. He doesn't. And let me tell you, don't even be deceived. Issues that Kano Kizza Besigye has raised are why he is being bullied, persecuted. It is nothing to do with a person. If it were, tell me, why is Bobi Wine facing what he's facing? Was Barbara a girlfriend of Museveni? Why is he being bullied? Why was he beaten in northern Uganda and almost killed? Why? What about the DP people? Do you remember them who were in jail for years? Very peaceful man like Zachary Olum. What had they done? They just wanted to challenge. They wanted their chance to, their party was still popular and they wanted to run against him. They ended up in jail for years. Do you want me to give you a list? What about Kaira? Kaira died. He was a rebel leader too. He could be here today contributing. Why did he die? Mysteriously. I mean, you need to be more analytical about this. Don't just get into this. It's these Europeans and their soaps who make us sometimes like get diverted. There is nothing here. He is somebody whom I have known since I first became aware. And he continues to be somebody who's known in my family. When family things happen, sometimes we see him, sometimes he sees us. This has really nothing to do. I disagree with him. I fight him. He's not happy with me. But it has nothing to do with the situation Dr. Besigye finds himself in. He is where he is because he's his toughest opponent, because he has tried to hold him accountable, because he has challenged him for leadership. That's it. So don't get diverted into these small personal things. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's the question I had said I would show because I hoped that one of the people in the audience would ask it. And I'm glad they did. It's always important
Mm,
for you to have an opportunity to put that to rest.
mm,
And I think that the questions you ask about what about Bobi Wine right now, or the 32 Noop supporters that have been in jail for the last 4 years,
uh-huh.
or all the others, and I'm glad Juliana asked that. So everyone is asking for this space to continue a little longer. I am happy to do it. There are spaces that are useless that I've spent all night. So me, I'm happy for us to spend all night listening to things we didn't know, knowledge, wisdom, and different perspective. So I'll
Okay.
ask a few more people. You just let me know when you cannot continue.
Well,
But
let's end by 9:30, in 20 minutes.
okay, all right. So I am going to allow Dr. Hassan. Then there is someone called CPA and Claire in that order. Claire, mute your microphone until